know I still love you, baby. And you'll never change.
Perfect competition.
Like this.
In general, a perfectly competitive market is characterized by the fact that no single firm has influence over the price of the product it sells. Because the conditions for perfect competition are very strict, there are few perfectly competitive markets. Characteristics of perfectly competitive market. First, many buyers and many sellers. There are many consumers with the willingness and ability to buy the product at a certain price, and there are many sellers that are willing and able to supply the product at a certain price. Second, low entry or exit barriers. It is relatively easy to enter or exit as a business in a perfectly competitive market. Third, perfect information. Prices and quality of products are assumed to be known to all consumers and producers. Fourth, transactions are costless. Buyers and sellers incur no costs in making an exchange. Fifth, firms aim to maximize profit. Firms aim to sell where marginal costs meet marginal revenue where they generate the most profit. Lastly, there are homogeneous products. Perfect competition describes the perfect being a market in which there are many small firms all producing homogeneous goods. In neoclassical economics, there have been two strands of looking at what perfect competition is. The first emphasis is on the inability of any one agent to affect prices. This is usually justified by the fact that any one firm or consumer is so small relative to the whole market that their presence or absence leaves the equilibrium price very nearly unaffected. The second view of perfect competition conceives of it in terms of agents taking advantage of, and hence eliminating, profitable exchange opportunities. In a perfectly competitive market, a firm's demand curve is perfectly elastic. Demand is also equal in average revenue and marginal revenue. The perfect competition in the short run. In the short run, it is possible for an individual firm to make a profit. This situation is shown in this diagram as the price or average revenue denoted by P is above the average cost denoted by C. The shutdown point. If the firm is in the short run and is making a loss, whereby total cost is greater than total revenue, and whereby total revenue is greater or equal to total variable cost, it is advisable for the firm to continue production. If it fails to achieve these conditions, it is advised to close down so that the only cost that firm will have to pay will be the fixed cost. The perfect competition in the long run. In the long period, positive profit cannot be sustained. The arrival of new firms or expansion of existing firms in the market causes the demand curve of each individual firm to shift downward, bringing down at the same time the price, the average revenue, and the marginal revenue curve. The final outcome is that, in the long run, the firm will make only normal profit. Its horizontal demand curve will touch its average total cost curve at its lowest point. The shutdown point. In the long run, the condition to continue producing requires the price to be higher than the average total cost. If price is equal to average total cost, the firm is indifferent between shutting down and continuing to produce. This case is different from the short-run shutdown case because in long run, there's no longer a fixed cost. The profit of perfectly competitive market. In the short run, it is possible for a perfectly competitive firm to earn an economic profit or economic loss. However, in contrast to a monopoly or oligopoly, it is impossible for a firm in perfect competition to earn economic profit in the long run, which is to say that a firm cannot make any more money than is necessary to cover its economic costs.
Oh, well, you done me, and you bet I felt it. I tried to beat you, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks, and now I'm trying to get